Hey guys, welcome to a special video on my channel. This is going to be a CHA 2014 Mega Show covering video where I basically talk about what I liked and some of the new releases that are coming out in the next few months. So for those of you who are regulars to my channel, you know that I made a video like this during the summer where I kind of went through what I liked and didn't like of CHA. Well, this time around I'm just going to be talking about what I liked and what really impressed me and just what I'm gonna want to buy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, and yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna break this up into different categories. So the first category is gonna be trends and patterns, and the second category is gonna be tools, the third category is gonna be my favorite collection, and my fourth category is gonna be the longer one, and it's gonna be embellishment. So for those of you who saw my other CHA favorites video, you will know that I made a little section in the video where I showed you the items I was talking about. For this video in particular, I won't do that again because I have so many different items and I'm not just focusing on one collection and things I like from each collection. I'm focusing on a lot of different things from a lot of different collections that I picked that were my favorites. So that being said, I won't be able to show you every single picture of every single item because I have a lot of things. So what I'm going to be doing differently for this video is I will have a specific blog post that goes hand in hand with this video. So whatever I talk about, whatever I spotlight in this video are going to be on my blog post. So what you can do is while you're watching this video, you can have a separate page open and you can follow along with my blog post and this video together. So as soon as I talk about a new item, you can click on my blog post, go down, everything's going to be numbered, and you're going to be able to find the item I'm talking about. So if number 2 is Amy Tangerine's mixtape, you can go to number 2 and you'll see a picture of what exactly I'm talking about. So you guys don't get lost with what I'm saying and don't just end up staring at a screen with a person talking for 15 minutes straight. So you guys will have a visual to follow along with. So during this CHA, I noticed 3 main color trends going around, and the first one is what I like to call the dreamy color trend, which basically includes colors that are soft pastels and the whole watercolored look. And some examples of collections out there are the Dreamy collection from Heidi Swapp, the Daydreamer collection from Dear Lizzy, and of Webster's Pages, and also Glitz Designs came out with a Carpe Diem collection, which kind of falls into this category. And the third trend is what I like to call hot flashy colors. So collections that have hot pinks, lime green, bold blues, yellows, oranges, and even black and white. So yeah, those are the main categories I kind of noticed in terms of color themes and color trends. So I just covered the color trends. Now, other trends that are out there, you guessed it, gold. Gold is everywhere. Gold foiled, gold glitter. It is in almost every collection and I love it. I am all about gold and I'm sure most of you are as well. Another trend that's out there is vellum. Vellum pieces in terms of die cuts and vellum paper pads. I know that We Are Memory Keepers came out with a new vellum pad, which I'll discuss more in detail after. And also some from Cosmo Cricut. So vellum is very hot right now, especially printed vellum and even foiled vellum. That's out there a lot. So I guess the translucent sort of look is very popular and on trend right now. And especially wood chips, wood veneers, and especially 3x4 wood cards. And these 3x4 wood chip cards are pretty much everywhere. A lot of them are carrying it. Cosmo Cricut and a bunch of other companies. I know even Dear Lizzy has them. And a lot of companies have come out with these 3x4 cards. So check out for that because they're going to be everywhere. And of course, enamel dots. A lot of companies and collections have come out with their own enamel dots and their own twist on it. For example, I've seen some enamel dots that are glittered, and now a lot of companies also have enamel dots in different shapes and sizes. So there's arrows and you name it. Teresa Collins has her own little enamel dot line and she has arrows in some of them and hearts and speech bubbles, and it's really cute. And another thing I noticed a lot are Project Life type sized cards. Yeah, so Project Life has inspired a lot of these companies and you can see a lot of 3x4 size things for Project Life type scrapbooking. So there's envelopes and bags and cards and chip cards and die cuts and inserts, you name it. A lot of companies have tailored some of their embellishments to be 3x4 type cards and Project Life type embellishments. This CHA, I've noticed a lot of new things coming out, and especially in the tool and machine department. And I am blown away by a bunch of new machines and tools that I've seen coming out that I really gotta have. So number one is the Cinch. I've been doing some research of the Cinch and I decided to get one, but I was weighing things out there. There's the Bind It All, which is a square hole, and the Cinch makes holes that are circular. So I had a feeling that there might be a Cinch coming out soon, and there was. It's a Cinch 3, and basically what it does is it punches holes in square form, which is kind of more of the look, the finished look that I like. So I'm going to be definitely looking out for that. I think it's going to be released in the spring. And then this next machine is just, oh my gosh, I gotta have it. It's called Evolution 2. And what it is, it's basically a die cutting and embossing machine like the Big Shot. They already have Evolution 1 on the market, but this one, Evolution 2, is so cool because it's foldable. And it's not like the Big Shot that it's like you can't close it. It's kind of like the Cuttlebug where it can fold, and it's perfect for people who live in small spaces or have limited space like I do. It's perfect for storing, and not only does it fold, it also has a compartment under the folds where you can store dies and whatnot that you want inside. So it has a storing capacity. It folds, it's portable, and it suction cups to the table so it doesn't move. And the best thing is it has a little dial switch that you can turn, and what that does, it's basically you change the dial to embossing, die cutting, or even this letter pressing, and it changes the size of the hole, so you just put in your cutting pad through, which is so super cool. And another awesome feature is that you can switch the lever that you crank to emboss. You can switch the lever up, and you can put a motorized lever. So if you're doing a lot of projects and need to constantly die cut and you want to always be there, you know, cranking the lever, you can just put this motorized piece that is sold separately, and it'll just do it for you. So that is so cool. These are awesome features, and I was so impressed by this machine. I've been wanting a die cutting machine forever, and that is the one I'm going to be buying because it just meets my criteria for a die cutting machine, and it's foldable, it's practical, and I can store it away, and it's just more of a sleeker, beautiful kind of design. It's all gray, and I just really like it. The next thing that is super cool, they decided to make their embossing folders 6x6, so you can kind of avoid having that crease at the end of a sheet, and you can also emboss bigger pieces of paper. So if you want to do a 6x6 card, you can definitely now use these embossing folders, and they had a bunch of new designs, which I think is super cool. And they also came out with a letterpress kit, which is retailing for $69.99, which is an awesome deal. It comes with everything you need: paint, the roller. It's just super cool. This kit will allow you to do some letter pressing at home, which is amazing if you want to do some invitations for a party or something like that. I think that is super cool, and I might just get it because it works with their Evolution 2 or pretty much any other die cutting machine out there. So those are some cool tools from We Are Memory Keepers. I think I forgot to mention that before. All of the ones I just mentioned are from We Are Memory Keepers. I was very impressed with them. The next tools are from Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz has released small mini distress ink pads, and they're super cute, and I just think so practical because, again, I live and I have a very small crafting space, and I have already, I think, over 10 ink pads from Tim Holtz, and it takes up space. And these little mini pads are going to allow me to buy all the colors that I like and have not committed to buying. Plus, these ink pads are so big, I don't use them every day, I don't use them often. I feel like the little ink pads, you can store them anywhere, and they're really small, and they have a stackable feature where you can just stack them on top of each other and store them away like that. I just thought this is so cute and ingenious because, I mean, those ink pads are so big, you don't need all that ink. Having a smaller ink size, I just think would be better for space, and it's just funner to carry around if you want to go to a crop or something. So I'm really excited about these little 1x1 ink pads. Also, to go with the ink pads, they came out with these mini ink blending tools, which are circular, and they also come with their refills. Now, the cool thing about these blending tools is that because they are such a smaller surface and circular, you are able to ink and distress harder to reach areas like little die cuts and stuff, or like little corners or on petals of flowers you have to get in between. You can easily ink those up, those little spaces. And the thing that I think is so awesome is that when you're doing some mixed media or you're using some stencils and you want to add some color, using the square, like the rectangular pad, it will leave line marks on your page. And especially when I'm just distressing a card or something, I get these lines all the time. But the cool thing about these circular pads is that it's clean edge, so that when you pounce on it on a stencil, it won't leave any harsh lines. The way this is done is by the blending foam is just a little bit bigger than the actual blending tool. Tim Holtz was demonstrating this, and when you pounce down with the sponge, it goes over the tool so it doesn't leave any harsh lines. And I think that is just amazing because I get these harsh lines all the time, and I just like the idea of having a smaller tool that you can blend easier things with. And also storage. Again, it's all about storage. You can store these, they're smaller, and I'm just all about these ink blending tools and these mini distress inks. And the last thing that Tim Holtz is coming out with, which I just think is so freaking cool, he came out with a marker spritzer. So what this marker spritzer is, it's a handheld little pump that you attach to any marker. Now this is a cool thing. It could be a distress marker, it could be a Copic marker, it could be a paint marker, it could be a Sharpie marker. Whatever marker you have, the little barrel that holds the marker is interchangeable. You can take a piece off for larger markers. So you can use any marker you have. So it's not just for distress markers. And you just put the marker in and you just squeeze a little pump that is part of the little spritzer gun. And it creates the cutest airbrush look on your projects. You can use stencils, so you can add mist to any project. Because it's an air pump, you can control the spritz. You can control them to be heavier, lighter. You can even do like a gradient when you're spritzing with them with the pump. I think it's just so cool. When I saw this, I got so excited because I need to have it. I think it is such a cool tool to have in anyone's kit, and you can do mixed media with it. You can use it on cards. You can use it on anything you want to do or create, and I can't stress enough how cool this is. Oh, I forgot to mention the awesome thing about this, because when I saw Tim Holtz demonstrating it, the first thing I thought of, well, this is going to take up too much ink. And basically it does not waste any more ink than it normally would when you're coloring. So it's not like it's an extra waste of ink or your markers are going to run out faster. It's the same thing as if you're coloring. So it's perfect. Like, you don't have to waste a lot of ink, and you get a cool spritz effect, which is just so cool to have on your project. So I'm really excited about that. Thumbs up, Tim Holtz. I think that's an ingenious idea. And thanks for bringing it to the mainstream. The next tool that I thought was pretty interesting is from a recent company called Littleby. I think they're new. They have this new product that won an award. It's called the Perfect Positioner, and it's basically this tacky mat that you can add onto your die cutting boards for your embossing machines. And it's actually tacky, so the die sticks to it and doesn't move around, and it's super cool. So you guys should really check that out and even look more into that on YouTube, because it looks pretty cool for those of you who have embossing machines. They also came out with these really cool dies, and the awesome thing about their dies is that you can do this really cool stacking thing with them, but they already come in magnetic cases, so you store them where they are, and there's pictures to show you which die does what, and I think it's so super cool. Maggie Holmes and Amy Tangerine have come out with embossing folders for their recent lines. So the +1 line has, the embossing folder has cameras, and the Maggie Holmes one is doilies. I saw a project where she used it on, and the doilies pop out so well on vellum. And these embossing folders are adorable and very modern. Like, the patterns are really up to date and really cool. So for those of you who have a die cutting machine, check that out, because I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna like those embossing folders.